I got a question for you. Do you know how to fight a good fight? It's a fair question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very fair question, and it's an important one because it really is conflict that has the power to either destroy our relationship or to really be kind of the price tag for a deeper level of connection.
Yeah, and most of us don't understand that because somebody that was pretty wise says conflict is like, it has two aspects. It's like fire, and it can either shed light or it can burn up. And most of us allow conflict to kind of burn up our relationship rather than shed light on our relationship together.
And sometimes it just takes knowing what to avoid in a conflict and what really can help you to spin out of a stuck place.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that because the research is very plain on this. Some research at the University of Washington in Seattle has shown us very plainly that there are 4 things you want to avoid in any conflict. And the first of these is criticism.
Absolutely. Criticism, you know, if I walk in and you say, "Where have you been? You always make us late." That critical comment is always damaging.
Yeah, and that's never happened though, has it?
Oh no. But the good news is you can complain, you know, without criticizing. You really can.
Yeah, the research shows us that there's a big difference between complaining and criticism. Criticism almost always begins with, "You always make us late. You never pick up your clothes." Whereas complaining, you know, I feel so frustrated when we're late to something that really matters to me. So fine line there that makes a world of difference. Number 2 that you want to avoid.
Defensiveness. I mean, you know, we always think, you know, if you criticize me, I want to explain how I didn't really have that fault after all, and I think the argument will go away.
Which is only natural. We become, you know, sometimes I liken it to becoming like a jellyfish in armor, and you look so tough on the exterior, and yet inside you're just dying.
We're just protecting ourselves.
Yeah. And we can kind of become so well schooled in defensiveness that it's just our natural posture, response, you know. Hey, have you seen my car keys? Oh, I didn't touch them. You know, we get defensive about everything. So criticism, defensiveness. Number 3 we want to avoid.
Yeah, it's contempt. And this has to do with things where it's kind of like you're assigning a negative motive or diagnosing, you know, you always make us late because you're so irresponsible.
Exactly. It's anything that makes you feel about that tall. Any belittling remark. Oh, way to go. Hey, Einstein, you're a regular genius here, aren't you? You know, that's contempt.
Absolutely.
And, we ought to pass laws in Congress against contempt in marriage. It's so lethal, so toxic to a marriage.
And finally, the most damaging thing of all is what research calls stonewalling. And that's where you just kind of check out. Your heart is hard. You're not trying to listen and understand. You just kind of shut down in the conversation.
Right. And men tend to get to this faster than women do. We can stonewall and, okay, what do you want me to say? I'll say it. You know, we just kind of pull back. But and Dr. John Gottman, the University of Washington, is the one that has done this yeoman work research to point this out. And if you're looking to fight a good fight, start there by paying attention to the things that you want to avoid in a conflict, because boy, that's really how it's done.
Yeah, steering clear of those things that really can be damaging can help steer you in the right direction in a conversation.
Yeah, you know, there's a verse in Scripture, Romans 12, verse 18, that says, if it's possible, as far as it depends on you, try to live at peace with everyone. I don't know of another verse in all Scripture that has more qualifiers in it than that single verse. You know, even Scripture is acknowledging conflict is inevitable. But that doesn't mean we can't still fight a good fight.